Alrighty, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good time. This is MrXsee hanging out with you again. Today we're going to be going ahead and doing the Golden Cup. This is going to contain the Huayra BC made by Pagani. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get prepared. Alrighty. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start it on up. Alrighty, so right now I'm in my global chat. We all have individual global chats. We might actually be the same members in there together, or we might actually have different global chats that we're in. So right now, just a little status update for me. Currently on my personal leaderboard, I'm ranked number 15. I got 410,147 RP. And top 10, they're all capping out for the top 3. But I'm going to try to see if I can get into the top 10. Right now, it seems like it might be possible for me to get there, depending upon if I'm able to get some good racing in. But with that being said, today's broadcast is going to be for the Golden Cup. So let's go ahead and jump on into that. What's going on, Miguel? How's it going? Welcome aboard. Oh, so it looks like before the Golden Cup, let's go ahead and knock out our daily battle and collect our free crate. So let's see what car we get with our daily battle here. The other day I had the LB Aventador and I lost. The car ran a 9.4 seconds, I believe. And I was like, I've never done a daily battle with it running that fast. But today it's the 650S, so I should be able to win that with no problem at all. So let's go ahead and tackle this on and see what we can do. Alright, got a good start, got an early shift, got perfect shifts. With the daily battle, I always encourage people to take the opportunity to do it every day as frequently as possible, once every 4 hours. But some of the cars drive differently than other cars. So if you're losing to the car once, do your best to try to remember what you did that first time so you can try not to do the same thing. So like if you always shifts immediately to second or third, then you want to go ahead and try to change up your driving. Sometimes you have to do goods or early shifts instead of perfects. Let's see what our free crate is. Also, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do some, after I get done with the Golden Cup, I'm going to do purchasing of the Stage 5 upgrades for my Nissan GTR for the 2017, so I can get that car ready for the Prestige Cup. And also, I'm going to go ahead and pull some Huayra parts. So actually Pagani parts, because I need some for the other cars that I have in my garage that are Huayras, that are Pagani. For the current car, I actually have it set up pretty good. Actually, I need to go switch to that. That way you can take a look at what my current setup is. It runs pretty fast, so I don't need to actually change anything on it. I'll show you what my tune is on it and what my current setup is. So right now I got 39 of 42 upgrades on it. So I'm missing 3 stage 6s. And I have 100 or 128 fusions on it. So I got 28 fusions that I'm missing for putting on the car. And I'm also missing 3 stage 6s. So just to take a look and see which stage 6s that I'm missing. Hopefully I'll be able to pick those up along the way. I'm missing intake, missing body, and tires. And my tune for the car, currently set up as it is, all the way to the right. So my NOS is sitting at 437 at 6.5 seconds. My tires is all the way down with no acceleration, 100% grip. And final drive is at 2.57. Dyno for the car says that I can run an 8.89, or excuse me, 8.889. And for a test drive, let's see if I can actually run that. car runs faster with more good shifts than perfect shifts. And looks like I ran a little bit slower than what the dyno says. So I ran an 8.964, whereas the dyno says I should be able to run an 8.889. Currently my crew is actually sitting at 27 members. So I do have free spaces in my crew. We're running a little behind this season for the crew points. So right now we're sitting at 10.8 million as a crew. And we have 27 members in the crew. So if you're interested in joining a crew, you can join this season. You can go and join next season. We have empty spots available if anybody wants to join. So it's totally up to you. Just send a request to Midnight Kings. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into our Golden Cup. So now the Huayra BC only is eligible for it. So we're going to get 4,000 cash, 20 gold coins of uncommon single, 6,000 cash, 10 tokens for wild cards, another single uncommon fusion. Then we're going to get 10,000 cash, 20 gold coins, 2 uncommon fusions, 14,000 cash, 30 gold coins, 4 uncommon fusions, 20,000 cash, 40 gold coins, 10 tokens for wild cards, 22,000 cash, 50 gold coins, 1 rare fusion, 24,000 cash, 60 gold coins, 1 rare fusion, 100,000 cash, 240 gold coins, 50 silver keys, 3 rare fusions, 3 gold keys, 4 epic fusions, 1 stage 6, 40 tokens, and then 7 gold keys. It's not a bad haul out of the Golden Cup just for having a car. No, the tokens don't carry over, but my crew, we typically don't use tokens and wild cards until the end of the season. We pretty much get 20 million, then okay, we can throw wild cards because everybody plays at different times throughout the day. That first Huayra BC is all black. It looks kind of wicked there. I have the white one with the black with the nice little blue stripe on top, but that black one looks kind of wicked. But yeah, so when you leave your crew, your tokens and your RP get left behind and you get to start fresh and anew. So depending upon the crew, what you have there, you can look at staying with your crew to use the tokens, or you can leave your crew and go to your new crew. It's all up to you. Everybody likes to leave crews at different times based on their own personal preferences. As I said before, my crew, we've never missed a milestone 1 car, so I don't anticipate we're going to miss it this season either, even though we're actually short on our crew. We're currently running 27 members, so instead of getting the car on Monday or Tuesday of the season, we might get it on Tuesday or Wednesday. But for us, getting the car has never been a problem. All 28 milestone 1 achievements have been met, and we're looking forward to this season having 29. Going to go ahead and jump on into race number 2. All right, now we got an F40. Looks like a gunmetal gray maybe, and it's a 5 purple star one. Nice little car there for tier 4. And getting that perfect start is a little difficult with this car. You have to actually release the shifter in between 1 second and 0 in order to get that perfect start. Alright, everybody that's coming on into the game, go ahead and welcome. Thank you for viewing. If you have any questions or anything that you want to provide input on, feel free to go ahead and communicate through the live chat. Live chat is a part of the stream, so everybody be able to see the Q&A that we have going on. But hopefully, if your car is not up to speed, you'll be able to get it up to speed and be able to collect this free. The Golden Cup is listed as being a little bit over 3 days though, so it's not a very long one. So now I'm racing up against another tier 4 car. This is the 2014 Audi R8. Nice little car. I actually had that car maxed out in my garage. It's sitting with all the Fusions on it. And actually I have my Elite license on it. So I get extra RP when I get to drive that car. So anytime that I drive the tier 4 races where I have to do something custom on it, such as custom calipers, custom interior, custom paint, or custom livery, I go ahead and jump in my Audi R8 and I do all 15 races with that and get that little bit of extra RP out of it. If I don't have to have anything custom on it, I then typically jump into my Camaro Z28, and that's a 5-star car, and I get even more RP out of it with that. So here we go with a 570 VX. This was actually the Milestone 1 color of the VX that we're racing against. So Milestone 1 versus Milestone 1. How cool is that? Of course I'm going to win. My car has a lot of performance on it. And actually I'm probably going to dump more parts onto the Huayra Roadster with Fusions, because that car is actually slightly faster than the Huayra BC. And the slowest car out of the Pagani family is going to be just a regular Huayra. That car I have, I believe 120 Fusions on it, and it's the slowest one in the bunch. So in terms of performance, slowest car is the Huayra. The next slowest will be the Huayra BC, and then the fastest will be the Huayra Roadster. But at any point in time, they can update the game, change the balancing and performance of the car, and the Huayra could be faster, and the BC becomes the next fastest, and the Roadster becomes the slowest. It's difficult to say when they do updates which cars they actually change, unless it's actually a car that you drive on a regular basis. Alrighty. Once I get done with this fuel, I'm going to actually go out to the garage, take a look at the Huayra Roadster, as well as look at the regular Huayra, show you those cars and what I have there. And I'm going to pull a couple of bronze crates. I have a whole bunch of bronze keys, so pulling keys and crates is not that big of a deal for bronze. For me, the cars into the game, I have no real preferences. I like classic American muscle cars. I grew up around a lot of people who own those, but this game is not really geared towards those. We do have some recent additions into the game, starting with the Under Pressure HS Customs, and then with the C10 Tiffany, and then last season the CUDA Torque C. So we do have some classic muscle cars, but I don't think that they're going to put a lot of cars that I personally like in there. Yep, today the live stream is early, but I'll probably be doing another one. Ooh, that P1 GTR in white looks wicked. But yeah, for me, I'm more of a classic muscle car. I didn't personally play CSR Classics, and I didn't play CSR 1. So I'm not familiar with what cars were in those games. But I do enjoy the cars they do have in the game. I wish that we did have a little bit of diversity. And the diversity I wish that we had in there was not as many Ferraris. It seemed like Ferraris has always ruled the game, and that's a-okay. But getting parts to stock all of those Ferraris is extremely difficult, especially when it comes to epic parts, because there's so many. Alright, collect my 10,000 cash. I have one more race to do, and then I'll be out of fuel, and then I'm going to go pull a couple crates. Hey Sazzy, how's it going? Glad you can make it. Hey Anonymous. Ooh, a white 918 Spider. For some reason it seems like when we get to race against cars that are white, they look different than the white cars that we get to race against in live races. When we race against our peers and other competitors, their whites typically be more like a chalky color, which I know that the Porsche 918 GT3 or not 918, the 911 GT3. They have a chalk as well as a white. But yeah, I wish they had a little bit more diversity. 48 spiders. Yep, that's one of the things I've always been this happy with when it comes to pulling crates, is getting cars that are non-duplicate for me. So because I always pull crates that have basically the same cars in there, I basically got into a habit where I just conserve keys and I don't really pull. So like here go the Pagani Roadster that I have. I have 39 of 42, but I only have 74 fusions on it. And let's zip on over to my yellow. I have to figure out which garage is in because it gets moved around shuffling cars. Could I keep all my milestone 1 cars together? There we go. Garage 22. And this one is sitting at 115 of 128 fusion parts, and I have 42 upgrades on it. So I do have some more parts I can put on it. But let's go ahead and do some crate pulls. Currently I have 58,969. So let's go ahead and pull. So yeah, I pulled the 48 Spider a few times. That actually is one of the rarer cars to get out of the crates on the 3-star side. A lot of times you get the 650S, the 570S. You get those more often. With the 3-star tier 5, every now and then you can get the Huracans pretty good, but the 48 Spider, the gold coin purchase, I believe, and the Aventador, those 2 cars are a little bit harder to actually get a hold of out of the crates, whether it's silver crates, whether it's gold crates, or even if it's going to be the occasional bronze crate. Typically out of the bronze crates I get 1 and 2-star cars when they do pop out. But I did actually pull a 4-star car out of it once. Kind of blew my mind. I was like, wow, 4-star car. This is like totally cool. Now I just pulled the body for the stage 6, which is something I actually do need to put onto the car. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, gold crates is very sporadic. Last season, when they had the Dirty 30 Golden Cup going on, I actually pulled 3 cars, and the first car that I pulled out of it was a 5-star Chiron. And I actually kept this car because I did not have the original Chiron in the game. I have the Chiron Red, but now I have the Chiron and the Chiron Red. The next car that I pulled out of the gold crate, it was the Porsche 911 Turbo S, and this one is in white. And the last car that I pulled out of it actually looks like did I strip it? Yeah, I think I stripped it. I pulled the Silvia S15. And once I pulled the Silvia S15, I stopped making pulls because I was like, yep, my luck doesn't look any good. I'm going to be done with pulling crates for right now. And then eventually I pulled 3 times and I was able to get the 911, the 2017 GTR. The transfer account is no longer available. Oh, that is not cool at all. That is definitely not cool. So currently I have 412,430 RP. That number is important to me because I've actually been tracking some additional bits of data. And so I actually, did anybody on here actually utilize the Google Plus side of YouTube and Google versus just utilizing the YouTube side? If you go on and utilized it, if you actually are on the computer and you're looking at the YouTube on my page, MrXsee, on the right hand side they have a little small G that's in red. That's the Google Plus. If you click on that, it takes you to the Google Plus page of MrXsee. Feel free to follow the page. But one thing I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start writing down and providing textual information for you guys for different tidbits of information, like how to get RP, the values of RP, the different things that you get and what is worth different point factors. So if you ever want to learn how to cap, cap, and you don't have to cap at 300,000 a day, but you can round off your points every single day at the end of the day when you're done with racing, if that's something that you're interested in doing. So for the Tempest 1 and the Tempest 2, you can drive any car. The basic premise is you want to have a car that you use in the actual races. The best one that you want to utilize is going to be the car that you have the most fusions on and that you can learn how to tune. So any tier car, the cars that are available on those tiers, they will allow you to be able to beat the Tempest 1 and the Tempest 2. But I did offer a video, if you looked at my video collection, on advice on picking cars for the elite license. So check that video out when you get a chance before you actually lock in your cars, because there's different cars that you can select, and I don't recommend a specific manufacturer or a specific make and model, but I give you advice based on your decisions. Because basically at the end of the day, you utilize those cars potentially after the elite license is complete for your daily races. I personally use my elite license cars all the time because I get more points out of racing those cars. So let's go ahead and make our purchases real quick for the P1 GTR. So basically I'm making these purchases so that on Monday or Tuesday I'm actually going to do the Prestige Cup, and I'm going to live stream it as well and do more Q&A with you guys, but I had to get the car ready so I'll be able to do that. Right now I'm not going to bolt on any fusions onto the car. We're going to race it and upgrade it and do functions with it along the way, so that way you guys can be able to interact with me and see how it is to upgrade your car as you do the races. So that way you can get an idea of how tuning works and things like that. Welcome to the world of iPhone, Anonymous Gang. iPhones are cool devices just like Androids are cool devices. They're all tools that allow you to do a specific task, which that task is going to be whatever you want it to be. I personally like Apple, but I also like Android phones as well. I've utilized both operating systems through a number of devices over the years, so I have no real preference on which device to use other than whatever suits your needs. So right now it shows me as having my golden cup is red because it's looking at the P1, not the P1, it's looking at the 2017 GTR. But once I select it, it tells me I'm in the wrong car. I change the car out. Once I change the car, I gotta select the car first. Now I go race, it should go blue. Not for sure. I don't really have anybody that's in school to ask that question to, but maybe you are the only one. Sure, we can swap RP, that's no problem. And that's a white Vulcan there. That white Vulcan actually looks pretty cool. Which car was I in when you see me in the lobby? That'll help me be able to know, and when we get done I can go jump in that car now and we can see if we can find each other in live races. So if you let me know which car I was in, then we can see if we can find each other. I only have one fuel pip, so now I need to buy some more fuel. Let's see. Picking up these single uncommons. And actually this is the 2 uncommons one, I believe. Yeah. So let's buy some fuel so we can go ahead and knock out these races. Alright. And that's one problem that I have noticed with the next race option. And it's just more along the lines of the White Huayra BC. It's more of a glitch. If you're in the next race screen, just like I was there, and it'll show you, like, for example, we was on race number 10 of 30 that was coming up next. If you go buy fuel and come back in, instead of it saying 10 of 30, it'll say 11 of 30. In this case, it just did that. In the past, if you're on race number 29 and you do that, it puts you at the map screen, and then you have to go back in order to do race 29 and then race 30. Don't know if that's intentional or not, but that's something that I've noticed. Okay, so if I was in the Chiron Red, that's the main car that I drive every day. I actually have pretty good luck with finding bots in that car. So I race that a lot in order to get bots. And the bots I get anywhere from 1,486 to 1,487 RP. 1 percentage point difference there. But if I ever get 744 out of it, I actually will close out of the game and open it back up. And when I find bots again, the bots are typically leveled off. So as you can see there, I'm back to 11 and 30 because of that little small problem that shows up, and I'm not for sure why that happens. Nice. Which color did you get the Huayra BC in, Spud? And welcome aboard. A white Huracan showed up there. That's just the regular one. That's not the LB one, so it's not as fast. The LB Huracan is actually faster than the regular Huracan in the game. I believe that the LB Aventador is also faster than the regular Aventador. Yep. You can play CSR on the iOS device with the Nox app. I know that they have an app that allows you to put Android on computers, and in essence you're playing on the computer with an Android, but I'm not for sure about the iOS version of the game being on the Mac, so that's something new. The white 2014, so I'm still racing the slower cars. That's a tier 4 car. Yeah, everybody seems to get more points racing bots than what I do. I thought my 1400 was pretty good, and I heard someone else that they get 1800 racing bots. I'm like, oh man, black and red seems like that'd be a nice looking Huayra BC. Does it have the blue stripe going down the center as well, or is it a red stripe? I think I probably get low bot points because the Huayra, not the Huayra, the Chiron Red has a low EV value with it. It's only 1100. Alright, collected all those uncommon parts. Ugh. Alright, here go a white 570 VX. I guess at some point the Golden Cup will provide me with better cars to race against. Something that's going to get less than, 12 seconds. Because these races are really long because I can win the race pretty fast. But it has a red stripe. Nice. Alright. Reward earned. 20,000 cash. Now once I run out of this fuel again, I'll do the same thing. I'll jump back in, pull me some more crates, see what I can get parts wise, and see what we can do to upgrade the car. I personally don't need this one. I'm going to upgrade the Roadster. So I actually do the upgrades of the Roadster afterwards because it's not a part of the Prestige Cup. Actually, the next race, I'm going to go ahead and fire the nitros on it and get down there in sub 9 seconds. Maybe even I'll pull a 8 second on there. 8.9. Nice points there with bots there, Sazzy. The points with bots should actually be the same. It's based on the car that you get in. I've tested this with the star value of the car, the elite license value. So purple stars gets more points than gold stars, and 5 gold stars gets more than 4 gold stars, and the elite license also adds in points on there too. My fastest car, I really don't know. I don't drive the Plymouth very much, and I don't drive the Ice Charger very much, or Hobbs Demon. Those are typically my faster cars. I don't like going into the fast lobbies because at the end of the day, there's always going to be someone who can drive the cars faster or better than you. So racing it, my goal is actually to win the races. So I'm not big into swapping. If it's someone that I know, I actually will swap with them. But other than that, I'll race and move on to the next race. That's just my personal preference with how I like to play the game. So I don't really go into maxed out lobbies because you're always going to find someone who drives faster than you. But the Ice Charger, Hobbs Roadrunner, and Hobbs Demon are 3 of the faster cars in the game. I believe the GTX Roadrunner is the fastest, period. I am missing a couple fusions, but in order to have the fastest car, you also have to be able to drive it. And some of these cars have weird shifting patterns in them that you can mess up something and then greatly increase your speed and your time. So for me, you know, I believe I can run a 7.6 or a 7.5 in one of those cars. And I completely crack up going into the fastest lobbies because you see people who hack the game and cheat, like getting a purple star 720S, getting the purple star AMR Vulcan Pro, getting the purple star P1 GTR, getting the purple star 918 Wassenbach package. Those cars are the fastest cars in the game that was given away for free. And you'll see people in the lobbies that have, at the end of the day, 100,000 RP, and everybody else in the lobby has 800,000, has 1 million, has 1.8 million. And you can tell that these racers typically don't play the game, so they more than likely wasn't part of the crew that actually earned those cars. They had hacked it. But the funniest one that I've seen is people who race against, they go in and hack the game and they get the LaFerraris with the car covers on them, the LaFerrari Appunta, and they actually raced those in the lobby. I ran against one of them that ran a 7.2, a 6.9 I think, and the car had a car cover on it. And I raced another person who had a hacked Android Centenario, and they ran a 5.9 in a half mile. I just find it hilarious. People hack the game and find out ways of cheating. Yep, that's pretty fast there, Sazzy. Running an 8.2. When you get it maxed out, it should go down into the 7.6 or 7.5. But that's one of the problems too, is that when the car gets to a certain point, you only show up in the max lobbies. And if you're not fully maxed, you're going to show up in the lobby against cars that can clearly run faster than you, so you're never going to win those races. You can help with hacking the game if you're on Android. That's a personal choice that you make. Just ran an 8.905. Not close to my 8.8, 8.9 that I'm supposed to run in there, but you know, I take what I can get. But hacking anything is a choice that you make. You can help with hacking. You choose to hack. Don't confuse the choice of hacking with a requirement to hack. Nice. Your Roadrunner runs faster than my Roadrunner. I had somebody else tune my cars because I don't tune the cars to go the fastest. So I had someone else tune them, and they can actually drive my car faster than I can. So I think they can run a 7.4 or 7.5, and I run a 1/10 of a second slower than they do. So they run a 7.3, then I run a 7.4. If they run a 7.4, then I run a 7.5. I just laugh at it because the game is fun, but you know, at the end of the day, everybody drives the cars differently. So even though you drive it pretty fast, it's not guaranteed that you're going to drive it the fastest. Now the cars have gotten faster. Now I'm dealing with the tier 5 pure level. This one is a 707 with the EV value, and I'm on race number 20. And I believe this is a sub 11 second car or running at 11 seconds, one of the two. Let's see what the title's in at. Up, running out of battery power. Go gadget power. Alrighty, I got juice going now. So yep, sub 12 seconds, so it's running 11.5 seconds. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on in and pull some more crates. Alright, when I started playing, I didn't realize that the Golden Cup was up, so I ignored pulling my free crates. And let's see here. You making some calls, Donna? What you gonna give me? Up, tires. I think I need tires too. So body and tires are two of the ones that I think I needed. Come on, Donna, make some calls. Give me some more goodies. Uncommon turbo, rare transmission, rare turbo, rare body, rare intake, free parts, stage 6, hoo-hoo. And a Pagani Huayra, I believe that's the intake. Collect that free. We're gonna go ahead and pull one more. So now I'm down to 54,069 bronze keys. Nitrous, uncommon body, epic uncommon engine, and epic turbo, and that's it. All right, so let's go ahead and drop these, I believe 2 stage 6s I can put onto the car. And that's one thing before I do that. Yep, 2 of them, tires and body, 2 of them that I needed. So right here, it doesn't show me that I need stage 6 on the car, that I have it available. So it just shows me that I have an epic fusion to put on. But if I hit the garage view, it shows that I have stage 6 right there. So one thing I wish that Natural Motion would do an update is to put back where it shows you the lowest part that you have to put onto a car. So if I have an uncommon part to put on, show me that. Because right now they always want to show you that you have the highest value one. Up. And it was the intake. So now I'm officially upgraded. This car is now 42 out of 42. So just like that, now I have 28 fusions to put on, and I have this car fully maxed out. And then I believe it runs a 8.2 or a 8.3 when it's fully maxed out. And the Huayra Roadster runs a 8.0 to 8.1, I believe. And also one thing I didn't do, and something I probably should do, but I do not have to do, it offers me at the bottom the option to tune the car, because I fitted on new parts to it, in this case stage 6. I got all 3 stage 6s that I needed for the car, so now I can go ahead and tune the car and actually get some better performance out of it. Now one thing I have found interesting is that from time to time, I actually have put parts on the car and then I didn't gain any performance that I can tune out of it. So I had to tune to it bad and then tune back to it in order to have the maximum EV. Which song was the Jamaican song? Currently is the Spring Autumn Sunset artificial music, available over at the No Copyright Music. If you ever want to see the playlist for the songs that show up, inside of the description for the video, there's a link to the YouTube playlist of the songs that are played inside the live stream, as well as any of the recordings that we have going on. So any song that's there, you can always look at the live stream. It has it at the bottom, the song title, and then you can look through the playlist and then find that song as well. So tires, of course, there's not much you can do to get more performance out of it. 1634. So I'm losing EV by changing my tire pressure. If I change my NOS, sometimes you can actually improve your NOS. And as you can see, yep, still can't change my NOS and get any improvement out of there. Let's try to move 1 over. Nope, even with moving over 1. Now the final drive, probably going to be the same, 257. Nope, I can actually improve the final drive. And it seems like I can actually get a lot of performance out of the final drive. Go from the 34 all the way to a 41, it looks like. Okay. So with that improvement, let's see, did I make it down to the 8.8 low 8s or maybe even the 8.7s? Which Huayra? There's 3 Huayras. The Huayra BC was the second fastest car. The Huayra Roadster is actually faster. So let's go see what we can do here now. So the plain Jane Huayra is the slowest one, the 4-star one, the one that was originally in the game. Go with a white Huracan Performante. That looks kind of nice and white. Wonder if we're only going to have white cars for the Christmas, and after Christmas over, we're going to get the other colors. Let's see how fast I can go in it now. See if I get into any better lobbies. And, oh, I ran significantly faster. Went from the 8.8s and the 8.9s all the way down to the 8.59. Not a bad improvement. Now the Huayra BC, it runs a little bit slower than the 8.05. I believe that's the Huayra Roadster that runs at the 8.054. Let's see here. Yep, it was 22, now it's 23 for the races. Gonna go ahead and make that purchase. And now it's 23, so we see that it's 23 or 30 now. And after this race is over, it's going to be 23 or 30 again. 570 VX in white. Alrighty, and there he is, 23 or 30 still. This time I ran a little slower though. I ran an 8.653 in it. But I collected my 100,000 in cash. Alrighty, so we're coming soon to an end here because we're on race number 23 now. Anything anybody want to see or anything anybody want to talk about after we get done with the 30th race? Or should we just go ahead and end the live stream? Comment in the live chat and let me know what you guys want to do. Yeah, plus or minus. Are you pulling your times from the world record from the Keymon's world record over on Facebook? And let's see here. Whole bunch of early shifts on this one. See what I can do. Still 8.5. Alright, now I'm showing green. So no longer blue, so I imagine all the rest of the races are going to be green for me. Collect my 50 silver keys. Going up to race number 25. And it runs at 9.9 now. Pretty fast there. Yep. So those are the world records. So the world record that you're quoting is the speed that someone was able to run. That's not the time that everybody typically is expected to be able to run. So you want to take off a little bit of time for the world record, and that puts it more along the lines where everybody else should be able to run that. I can do live races after the stream, after the Golden Cup is over. That's no problem. So if the world record is going to be a 7985 or 7995, then I would suspect that everybody else should be running basically an 805 or something like that. And if the world record is an 80, then everybody else is typically running an 81. The world records are typically faster than what the average person actually runs in it. And that relies upon people actually shifting the car pretty darn good, which takes a lot of work, takes a lot of practice. Does anybody else want to do some live races when this is done? Go ahead and comment in the live stream. That P1 GTR spits on out. And he gets chased down. Just like that. Alrighty, race number 27. Collect my 3 gold keys. Next one is going to be my stage 6 upgrade. And here go the 918 Spider Wasatch package. Wasatch. Not exactly sure how to say that. Pretty wicked little paint job. I seen someone with the same paint job, but instead of the car being white, the car was actually purple. It was more like a lavender purple color. I was like, yep, they're clearly a hacker. But that was the first time I seen the color in anything but white in that particular car with the Wasatch package. I actually raced them. I can't remember if I won or they won. But I just cracked up at it. There's all kinds of people out there that hack the game to get the better performing cars. And some people know how to do it and other people don't know how to drive the car, so it's always fun. Why you cannot download CSR 2 is a good question. It could be specific off of any type of restrictions you may have on your individual device, your individual account. It could be the specific region or country that you live in. If you look at the description, I have a direct link to it inside of Android, and I have a direct link to it inside of iOS. If you click on your device or on your computer, you should be able to see the page, and maybe it provides you more details of why you can't actually download it. I do know that on Android devices, when you can't download an app, if you click on a direct link to it, it'll give you specific reason of why it's not available for you to download if you can't search for it in the App Store. But I do have direct links to the app listed in there, so you can go ahead and try those and see if it'll give you reasons why. With Apple, I believe that it provides the same information. I haven't personally had any experience. Pagani Turbo, Stage 6 I just picked up for the Huayra BC. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do some live races. If you guys want to stick around and do live races, it's no big deal. Time for Sarah in the Ford GT. Pretty neat the little car. Actually, mine's probably as close to being maxed out. And it sped on off, and I went on and told it, you can't get ahead of me. At these particular times, more than likely, I do have to fire knives in order to win the races. As you get further along in these races, depending upon the setup of your car. If I had more fusions on it, then I probably would not have to use the knives, but I'm not for sure. And here goes the last race. You cannot download the game or you cannot play the game. Which one is it? Because that's two different problems to troubleshoot. Race number 30. Great offer. Hey, I can get you 2 fuel pips if you watch this short message. Sound good? Later. And here go the Huayra BC 705 with 1,491 EV. Let's go ahead and rip through this. And knock it on out. And let's see. Nope. Couldn't get a sub 8.5 seconds. Not at all. More fusions is needed. So just like that. Now I'm at 30 of 30 races, so I can go back to the map. Actually, what I would like to do, collect my 7 gold keys. Which car do you guys want me to jump in, or what time frame do you guys want me to jump in? Do you guys want the Chiron Red, which is what I always drive in, that shows up in the 9.4 to 9.5 lobby, where everybody else runs 9.5 and 9.6? I run 9.6, everybody else run 9.4, or do you guys want me to jump in another one? I do plan on doing live races with Tier 1 and Tier 2 maxed out cars. I'm not going to do that right now. I might do it later on today, or I might do it this weekend. So let me know what car and what time that you guys want to get in. Alright, let's go ahead and see what lobby I show up in. Let's race the Stig. He's always challenging me from them slackers. I see him in different lobbies. I guess he's going to be surprised to see my name pop up challenging him. Well, if you can't download it, as I said, try the links. If the links don't work on your mobile device, then try the links on your computer, because the YouTube is available on your computer as well, and see what it tells you, because your computer should basically go through the same network. If it tells you that it's not available in your country or it's not available in your region, then you'll be able to get a better idea to understand why you can't download it. There is different changes to different laws and things like that that the developers actually mention on their live stream about why they made changes to the game. Like, for example, CSR 1 and CSR Classics, they said that they had turned it off for the multiplayer due to laws in the European laws. So at that point in time, I actually won the race. I picked up 1200 RP. And Miguel wants me in the Chiron Red. So let's go ahead and jump into the Chiron Red. So if it's not available for you, so like I said, try it from the computer browser, clicking on the links, and that should take you to the Android page, or it should take you to the Apple page, whichever link that you want to click on. And if it's available in your country or it's not available in your country, oh, actually, I got my cartoon for the restriction trial because I hadn't completed that yet. Today is no turbo. But yeah, by clicking on those links, it should get you more details if you do it on the computer. Like I said, if the games are not available in your country, it should pop up and give you a little message. Now, it's not going to be a specific reason why it's not available to you in your country if it's restricted to your country. But if it shows up on the web page, then you should be able to download it on your device, and now you narrow down the problem. Instead of it being a country thing, it could be a device thing. Maybe you don't have enough space, you don't have enough memory, maybe your device is too old. Guess I need to fire the Nas racing in this regulation race. Not regulation, restriction race. Alright, so I'm going to go back to the garage. Let me put my turbo back on. And after I put my turbo on, you're welcome there, official. Is it Tinku Zulai? Zutai? So let's go ahead and put the turbo back on. And once I put the turbo back on, I don't have to actually retune it. I go by MrXsee. Alright, so if I go to the restriction trial now, it wants me to change the car. Actually, I need some fuel anyway, so I can go do live races with Miguel and anybody else. But the cars it wants to change me to is my C10 Tiffany or my 2016, and that's because those cars have the upgrades. I just never fitted them on because I don't actually drive them. Well, they haven't said if the Chiron or the FXXK is going to actually be improved. I know that the developers that talked about it today and specifically talked about the FXXK. They said hopefully they can get around to it like they did the P1 and the P1 GTR. So hopefully at some point in the near future those cars will be faster. I know that with the Chiron, especially the red, as you can tell there, I'm only missing 3 fusions. And those 3 fusions that I'm missing, I'm not going to get much more EV out of it. So right now I'm sitting at 1173. Ah, okay. I see you in my own personal global. I guess this stack bundles person is insisting that I need to race them. And I'm not going to race stack bundles because I don't know who stack bundles is. Yeah, you have the red font on your name. Is that correct, Spud? But one thing that they did with the P1 and the P1 GTR, they maxed out the EV on the cars when they updated them. The P1 GTR, they gave an insane EV. It jumped all the way up to, I think, 2100, almost 2200 with it maxed out. And that was just crazy. But the NOS on the P1 GTR is 26 seconds or 24 seconds. It's just crazy. There you go, Miguel, from Tire Haters. Is that correct? Tire Haters? All right, Miguel. We'll go ahead and do 2 swaps. So you get 2 wins, I get 2 wins. And then we'll see if we can find Spud. I see you in global. Yep, I'm going to lose. Anytime the 570 VX is close to me towards the end, it has that little kick at the end and they always pass me. Oh, it froze. And it said I won. Well, thanks, Miguel. Appreciate you letting me get that win. I got 1,196 points from you. Got to hit the rematch button. Now, one thing, if you want to swap with people, I always tell people this, let the timer get down to 9 seconds, and then you hit the rematch button, and then you should be able to rematch them without disconnecting and freezing. I do run into problems with that sometimes where you immediately hit the rematch button, and when you hit the actual race button with them, it freezes up and it times out. So it looks like, Miguel, you either got put out the lobby or you ran out of fuel or you decided you don't want to race me no more. Let's swap. Now, one thing I do find funny is there's a lot of people who have swap in their name. They're clearly not trying to swap. Often these people who are not trying to swap have low RP values associated with them, but high RP people do the same thing as well. So whenever you're swapping with people, just be prepared that not everybody's going to actually want to swap with you. By the way, for anybody who was on the live stream just wanting to check out the Golden Cup, I'm done with the Golden Cup. It's complete. So anybody that's sticking around is just going to be here for some live races that we're going to do. And I'm probably going to do maybe 10 more minutes of it, 15 more minutes of it. And then we're going to go ahead and knock out the live stream for today. I actually have to do a garage video. I'm going to do the crew garage. I'm going to do a crew garage video based off of an admin status, based off of a leader status, and based off of a regular member status. If you haven't had a chance to take a look at my main garage walkthrough video. It's a little long. I openly admit that, but it actually goes through all the details of everything that the game actually offers in the main garage. So if you wasn't familiar with how things work or what things were, just check out the video and you get more familiar with your main garage. I'm going to work on, like I said, the crew garage, so you can be able to know how to invite people, how to look at invites and see who actually sent you the invite, how old the invite is, what the crew name, plus some other little features in there, and also how to send invites to people. Can't rematch you, Miguel. So I'm going to go back out into the lobby and try to rematch you again. But I know that a lot of times people are not familiar with how to send invites to people. If you can type out the name, like currently my name says MrXsee YouTube, it's easy to type that out. But when you have people who have crazy fonts on their name or even colors and things like that, it may be difficult to be able to find people. And if it's difficult to find people, I'm going to create the video with the crew garage and show you how to do that. So say, for example, like this. Okay, Bobby. Like Manito and Mino. You can't type those names out and be able to find those racers. But if you're in the actual global chat with them, I'll show you how to click on their name, hit the reply button, and be able to. Now I'm going to go ahead and do this race with them because they have win-loss. Let's see if they actually do the swapping. But I'm going to give them a demo how to do it. And each of the demos will, whether you're a leader, whether you're a member or an admin, I'm going to show you how to do it in each video containing, so that way you don't have to watch all three. You can look at the one that's based on you. Yep, send the invite and I'll go ahead and accept you. Like I said, right now the crew is actually behind on points. Typically we will be at anywhere from 11 million to 12 million after Prestige Cup starts, because our goal is to be at 9 million to 10 million by the time Prestige Cup starts. And this particular season, since we're only 27 members deep, we have different members who normally put up a lot more RP. They have not been able to play as much, so they're not generating as much points. So we're currently 27, so you will get a car at the end of the season. That's without a doubt. We're just not going to claim it on Monday or Tuesday like we've done many times in the past. So if you want to join today, you can join today. If you want to wait 5 more days and 12 hours, you can wait 5 more days and 12 hours. All right, let's see if we can find somebody who wants to swap. I want somebody who has swapping on their name to swap so we can see if they're actually going to swap or not. Because I always find it hilarious. People come into the global chat and be like, this person doesn't swap. And I find it funny. People also have names up that say bots only, and they're challenging you. So like this guy here, PJ McKay, no races. So he probably is having connection issues. Yesterday when I was playing, everything worked fine for me. And then in the middle of a couple races, next thing you know, it popped up. I couldn't race anybody. The game was popping up and people would try to challenge me. It would time out and say lost connection to server. Or if I try to challenge someone else, the time would just time all the way out. I like, this is the problem that everybody else keeps reporting that they're having. And now I'm having it. And in about 30 minutes to an hour, it looks like it cleared up on its own. So the problem with the connection issue, because one thing I have noticed is that sometimes the connection problem is not just on you, it could be on the other person. So the other people may not have a connection problem, but I personally have a connection problem. And if both of you guys have connection problems, then that makes it even worse. Come on, where's the win-loss people at? They're always trying to challenge me. So here we go. Ricardo from Furia Beta. He has little win-loss symbols in his name. Now, this racer could just have the symbols because they think the symbols look cool and they're not actually trying to swap. But I catch people with the symbols as well as the win-loss as well as swap in their name. And some of them swap and some of them don't swap. Alrighty, Sazzy, have a great one. See you in Global. Thanks for coming on board. Alrighty, so this car actually has a slow startup, and then it's going to come on up and pass me. Just like that. Alrighty, and he ran a 9.4. Like I said, I run 9.6, sometime a 9.5, like a 9.59. And most of the races I race in this particular lobby all run 9.4s. So I'm used to racers always running faster than me. And I always find it hilarious when you have the people who, oh, I want to swap, oh, I want to swap, and then they don't actually swap. So it timed out. Maybe he hit the rematch button too quickly. Who knows? But if he really wants to swap, he'll try to challenge me again and actually do the swapping. Nope, nobody wants to actually swap. Alright, is there any other? Actually, no, we're getting close to the end of the time here. Got about 2 more minutes. Supreme S8. Supreme S8. Symbol the Global. I think that's what that means. The Global. Have a cigar. PJ McKay, no races. Born to Race Hell. White Shadow. Tarmac Hunter. Eleanor from Tire Haters. Hey, Miguel, looks like they're from your crew. The Tire Haters. They got 114,000 RP. Alright, so currently the Crew Cup, in 2 hours and 53 minutes I get the race again. I got the GTR part to claim. I'm going to go ahead and claim that. I got a couple tokens to collect. Got a body. And some tokens. Alright guys, it's been a blast. It's been a pleasure. Look forward to hanging out with you guys again soon. Like I said, I'm going to do a live stream where we're going to be racing in Tier 1 maxed out lobby as well as Tier 2 maxed out lobby. So look forward to that either later on today or tomorrow. And I'll see you guys in Global Chat. Until we talk, have yourself a great day. Thanks.